Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit since I had a video posted, but I think we found our next project. On the bench today, we have a Springfield M1903. As you probably read below, this is a drill rifle. And for all you youngins out there that aren't in the surplus game, I'll explain that in a second. But this one here came out of a local estate. The local shop picked it up, didn't realize it was a drill rifle. And I made an offer on it at a very reasonable price. Picked it up, put it on my books, and here it sits. For anybody that's unaware, I'm now a full-time gunsmith. And I have a 2-year-old. Information will be down below. Get down. Give me 1 second. He has climbed up on something he can't get down. Okay. You better? Buckshot, yes. Okay. So I don't remember where I was. This is our new project. This, exactly, is our new project. We are going to be revamping this so it fires again. So for you youngins out there, drill rifles were a thing that happened after World War II. These 1903s, A3s, Mausers, it was less Mausers and stuff, it was usually Americana, were so prolific and they were everywhere, they were cheap, that one, they either got sporterized, or two, a lot of places picked them up for use as drill rifles. And when I say drill, I mean ROTC, the guys flipping them in the air, that sort of stuff. That destroyed a lot of guns. And parade use and things like that. Yes, sir. Parade use, things like that. So when they did that, they would put a rod in the bore. They would plug it. So this is currently plugged where you can't get around in it. And they would weld the face of the bolt up so the firing pin can't protrude. There's also some things done to this one in particular. The rear sight has just completely been milled off. But it is still a really interesting piece. Now, if you can find these, they're fairly rare these days. They used to be a lot more prolific. You could pick them up for a song, find some parts, put it back together, and have yourself a really nice shooter. They're getting fairly rare because the parts are becoming kind of expensive. So when you find one, if it's a good enough deal, you pick it up. This one's cool. This one's a Marine Corps. As far as we can tell, this one's a Marine Corps. Who knows? Might have seen some action in Guadalcanal, something like that. Let me bring you in a little closer. We're going to pop the receiver out of the stock. We're going to pop the stock off. I'll show you everything we got here and why I'm kind of excited about this. And what we're going to do in the next couple weeks as videos come out. So let me get you in closer. Hold tight. All right, so here's what we got. If anybody wants to look, serial number is 878132. Now, it's hard to trace and know if this was actually a Marine Corps rifle, but we do have something that might give us a clue. Let me bring this up to the camera. Here we go. So you can see that this has a 1943 October 43 USMC barrel on it. So this is a Sledgley barrel. That means that this was re-barreled in 1943. 43, yeah. Ready for action in World War II. So there is a pretty good chance that my kind of assumption here is, why would somebody post-war put a Sledgley barrel on a rifle, then turn it into a drill rifle, and then put it, like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So more than likely, this was a Marine Corps barrel, Marine Corps gun, which is really cool to me. I don't really have any ties to the Marine Corps. I just think that it's, you know, this could have seen action in the Pacific Campaign, which is really neat. Like I said, let me get this out of its skin. The other couple of things before we take it out of its skin, I guess. Everything's pretty nice. Oh, there we go. Remington marked front band. This has a little bend to it, which we can fix. The front sight base has been boogered a little. Oh, there we go. Front sight base has been boogered a little bit, which the new barrel we're looking at, it shouldn't matter. We'll see. Going on back, we have U-marked sling, swivel, band. Going further back, we have, everything is over here works. So a lot of times you'll see these drill rifles that had these welded up. So this one's not welded, which is nice. We don't have to remove weld up in here, and it actually still looks good. Bolt and everything is good other than the front. Somebody tried drilling it out, but there's still too much material up in there, and the hole's too big. It's pretty much junk. We're going to replace the whole bolt. The only other thing here And then, I mean, milled. So for you Springfield guys, it's a milled bottom metal, which is cool. These are nice, more expensive, very collectible. The stock is in very good shape. Oh, it's hard to show from here, but no cracks, no nothing. Everything on this is original. And those original, quote unquote, original parts are getting much harder to find. So that's a big plus. We're starting with really good bones. All we have to do, pull the barrel, find a new barrel. Luckily, I might be picking up a new barrel tomorrow. I have a source that actually has, it's gonna be expensive, but they actually have a Sledgley USMC barrel with front and rear barrel bands already on it. That's a huge deal. Now, it is pricey, but why not return it to its original glory, if you know what I mean? But no, everything here, the bones, it's exciting because the bones are really good. We're not working with anything that was destroyed. You'll see when I take it apart, somebody did work on it a little bit. The weld, the barrel usually is just a little blob welded to the receiver. Somebody's already worked on that and tried to get it loose. They didn't quite get it all the way, but the bones are great. This is an excellent bones gun. So let's pull it apart. I'll show you the guts. Yes, sir. Oh, this is definitely a Marine Corps barrel. That's even better sign that this is a Marine Corps barrel. So one thing that proves that this is definitely Marine Corps, let me bring this up to the camera. This is a telltale sign of a Marine Corps gun. They didn't care. It was World War II, you know, we were fighting in the Pacific and the Japanese were mean. So they didn't care. They used a barrel vise that just clamped this thing down, screwed it on. They didn't care, so they left marks on this. The more I see as I take this apart, the more I'm pretty confident this is Marine Corps, which is awesome. That just excites me even more. Let's keep going. If you don't know, if you're new, or if you haven't had one of these in your hand before, halfway. So that locks your magazine, so you can't pick up a new round for your magazine. That turns on your magazine, notice on, so you can actually grab a new round for the magazine. If you go in the middle, bolt comes right out the back. We'll take the bolt apart in a minute. All right. So, like I said, the stock looks fantastic. Honestly, it's oil soaked and everything. A lot of Remington parts on this one. This one's been re-arsenal, obviously. When you get a Sledgley barrel, one of these US Marine Corps barrels, obviously it's been re-arsenaled at some point. But yeah, so here we'll pull this down. I'm gonna put the stock aside. The stock we're gonna do a whole video on cleaning it up and oiling it. There we go. Yeah, so this one here you can see is milled, which is more, I don't want to say desirable, but they're getting more expensive because they're not as common. During World War II, we were, you know, hard up for parts, so we moved over to stampings. Stampings are a lot easier, and these kind of fell by the wayside because it wasn't worth doing this anymore. So the milled part's pretty cool. Let me bring this up so you guys can see real quick. Back down here, you can see that somebody has already started doing a little hack-sawlery right there. Trying to take, so this is common, there's a weld right here. Trying to take that weld off, which it looks like they probably, I mean, looking at it closely, I think that weld is probably already through. If it's not, we will go very carefully. I'll either take a hacksaw or a small Dremel blade and go very carefully, right across there and make a nice clean cut. But it looks most likely that they're already through that weld, which gives me some hope. Everything's painted black, but that's common for drill guns. Other than that, this thing's fantastic. You guys obviously can't see it, but there's no way of me getting a shot down. Oh, maybe, hold on. There we go. You can see the bore is plugged at the chamber end. And that's common, and there probably is also where they welded. That plug probably has, usually on the A3s, there's a hole under here and they weld the plug in place. So more than likely it's plugged there as well. Which is a shame because, again, sludgy barrel is a little more worth it, but that's what we got. Like I said, everything, if we focus, everything is here and ready to go back and become a really nice piece. Oh, you guys probably want to see the barrel. All right, back to what we got. If you're working on a 1903, the bolts are interchangeable, mostly interchangeable. They had some differences. Press down in your lock. This is also a clone of a German Mauser. It's an interesting story about Germany suing us during the war. Only other thing we gotta fix is that right there. There should be a, there should be an end to that firing pin that hits the primer. But beyond that, honestly, everything looks pretty nice. Like, there's just paint on everything, but it doesn't look all that bad. Now, we do have a couple pieces, which is nice. This one, once we get the paint off, we will look to see, why won't you focus on anything ever? Once we get the paint off, we'll look to see if there's any markings on any of this. I have a feeling this one's dead. I technically could weld this. If this was the last one on Earth, I could probably weld this up and re-drill a hole. I don't know that it's worth my time, especially when I have a spare. So from the older builds, we have a couple spare parts. We have a bolt, and we have, this one here has a really poorly pitted, rusty butt plate. We have another one, and for poops and giggles, we might Marine Corps this, and I'll explain when we get to like stock refinishing what I mean by that. For you guys out there that know what I'm talking about, we might Marine Corps this, let's say trench art. Functional trench art, how about that? We might work on that, but that's what we got. We got a whole nice piece of kit here. It looks ugly from the outside, but everything here is really, really nice. So get ready. Next video, we're probably gonna try to pull that barrel off next video. So we will work on getting this barrel off. I do have another one probably that will be here tomorrow. We'll work on that. Well, we also got to soak it. So I guess we also need to soak and get the paint off. Next time you see this, there might just not be any paint on it. So I'll start working on that separately. But all in all, we got a fantastic piece going on here. So I will see you guys next time. See ya.